17th problem. A professional diver of mass 60 kg performs a dive from a platform 10 meter above the water surface. Find the magnitude of the average impact force experienced by him if the impact time is 1 second on collision with water surface. Assume that the velocity of the diver just after entering the water surface is 4 meter per second. According to problem, mass of the diver is 60 kg. He is standing on the platform. It is at a height of 10 meters from the water level, surface of the water. Here, after entering into the water, his velocity is 4 meter per second. After entering, that velocity denoted by letter V, 4 meter per second. Just entering, before entering, his velocity, you take it as a u. We don't know u value. First, we have to calculate u value. Why? Because in this problem, we have to calculate force experienced by him if impact time is 1 second. Impact time they given t is equal to 1 second. In that 1 second, we have to calculate force. Force formula F is equal to change in momentum by time taken. Time is equal to 1 second, but we don't know change in momentum. Change in momentum formula m into v minus u divided by time t is equal to 1 second they given. We know final velocity, we don't know u value. Okay, Randy. Just before touching water surface, his velocity is u. He is jumping. In this condition, you assume from this height he is jumping. In this initial velocity, u is equal to formula root over 2gh. Here we take g is equal to 9.8. 2 into 9.8 into height is equal to 10 meter. If you simplify, then you get 196. That equal to 14 meter per second. Just before touching water, his speed is 14 meter per second. After entering into water, his speed is 4 meter per second. Then change in momentum is equal to m into v minus u. From this, F is equal to mass of the person 60, v value 4 minus u is equal to 14 divided by 1. That is equal to 60 into minus 10 minus 600 Newton. Here negative indicates force experienced by the person. Okay, Randy. Force experienced by the person, that's why we are getting negative sign. If you consider only magnitude of force is equal to 600 Newton only. 18th problem. An open knife edge of mass 200 gram is dropped from height 5 meter on a cardboard. If the knife edge penetrates distance 2 meter into the cardboard, the average resistance offered by the cardboard to the knife edge is, where small g equal to 10 meter per second square. According to problem, mass of the knife edge is 200 gram. First we convert gram into kilogram. To convert it into kilogram, divide with 1000. If you simplify, we will get 1 by 5 kg. This knife edge is dropped from a height 5 meter onto the cardboard. It travels 2 meter inside the cardboard. After traveling 2 meter, it comes to rest. After penetrating 2 meters, it comes to rest. That's why final velocity inside the cardboard is 0 meter per second. The distance traveled by the knife edge in cardboard is 2 meter. But we don't know with what velocity it entered into cardboard. I am assuming velocity of the knife edge just entering into the cardboard is taken as v1. First we have to calculate v1 value. To calculate this v1 value, they given this data. It is dropped from a height of 5 meter. Dropped means initial velocity is equal to 0. After traveling a distance of 5 meters, its velocity is v1. So v is equal to v1. It is traveling in air. In air, a is equal to plus g. From v square minus u square is equal to 2as v1 square minus 0 is equal to 2 into a is equal to g value 10, s is equal to 5 meter. From this v1 square is equal to 100, v1 is equal to 10 meter per second. We got v1 value. v1 means the velocity with which it enter into the cardboard. That velocity is 10 meter per second. By using this data, we can calculate after what time it comes to rest. We know formula to calculate it. S is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity by 2 into t, average velocity. So v plus v1 by 2 into t. That is equal to v is equal to 0, v1 is equal to 10 divided by 2 into here t, s is equal to 2 meters. So here time t is equal to 4 by 10 we will get. Here after this much of time the body comes to rest. It comes to rest means there is a change in momentum. That change in momentum is acting in a downward direction, delta p by delta t, and weight of the knife edge is also acting downward direction. These two are balanced by the resistance force offered by the cardboard in upward direction, that is Fr. This resistance force is equal to delta p by delta t plus mg. We have to calculate this resistance force Fr value. Fr is equal to mg plus delta p by delta t. Here already we taken direction of the change in momentum. That's why we are calculating only magnitude of change in momentum. Magnitude of change in momentum, we know formula. Delta p is equal to m into v minus u. But here initial velocity is taken as v1. So m is equal to 1 by 5 into v, final velocity 0, initial velocity is 10. That is equal to minus 2 we will get. That is delta p. Delta p by delta t, rate of change in momentum. Delta p by delta t is equal to minus 2 by delta t is equal to 4 by 10. Here we can write 4 by 10. That is equal to minus 2 into its reciprocal 10 by 4 we will get. That is equal to minus 5 we will get Newton second. But already we taken its direction, that is in downward direction. So just you substitute magnitude only. So resultant force Fr is equal to mass is equal to 1 by 5 kg, g value taken as 10, and magnitude of change in momentum 5 only. So 2 times 5 plus 2, 7 Newton. This much of resistance offered by the cardboard on the knife edge. Okay, clear? 19th problem. 6 forces lying in a plane and forming an angle of 60 degrees relative to one another are applied to the center of a homogeneous sphere with a mass 6 kg. These forces are radially outwards and consecutively 1 Newton, 2 Newton, 3 Newton, 4 Newton, 5 Newton and 6 Newton. The acceleration of the sphere is. According to given problem, 6 forces, each of magnitude 1 Newton, 2 Newton, 3 Newton, 4 Newton, 5 Newton, 6 Newton are acting at the center of a homogeneous sphere. Now here, second force making an angle 60 degrees with first one, third force making an angle 60 degrees with the second one, fourth force making an angle 60 degrees with the third one, like making 60 degrees relative to one another. If you draw the diagram, we will get a diagram like this. From this diagram, if you observe, here 1 Newton force and 4 Newton force are in opposite direction. 3 Newton and 6 Newton are in opposite direction. 2 Newton and 5 Newton are in opposite direction. If two forces are in opposite direction, first we find the resultant of those two forces. Resultant. If two forces are in opposite direction, we should subtract them. Bigger one minus smaller one. And the resultant is always along the direction of bigger one. Suppose if you observe 1 Newton and 4 Newton, 4 one is the bigger and 1 is the smaller. We should write 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3 Newton. The direction of 3 Newton is along the direction of 4 Newton. So 3 Newton force acting in this direction. Next, come to 5 Newton and 2 Newton. 2 Newton and 5 Newton both are in opposite direction. Here, subtract one from another. 5 minus 2 gives the 3. The resultant is along the direction of 5 Newton. That is equal to resultant is in 3 Newton in this direction. 3 Newton and 6 Newton are in opposite direction. The resultant of these two is 3 Newton acting in this direction. Here, angle between these two forces is equal to 60 degree and these two also equal to 60 degree. Angle between these two 60 degree and between these two also 60 degree. Here three forces are there. Here we should find the resultant of these two forces. To find the resultant of these three forces, first we should find the resultant of these three forces. Okay, first we should find the resultant of these two forces. These two forces, 3 Newton and 3 Newton, angle between these two forces is equal to 120 degree. If two forces are making an angle theta with each other, to find the resultant, we know formula. From the parallelogram law of vector addition, the resultant magnitude is equal to, here I am taking resultant magnitude is taken as f r1 is equal to formula under root of, their formula we know, resultant r is equal to formula p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Here p, q, r are the vectors where theta is angle between p and q. Instead of p and q, here 3 and here 3 is there. So f r1 is equal to 3 square plus 2 into 3 into 3 into angle between two vectors is 120 degree. So cos 120 degrees we can write. That is equal to under root of 3 square plus 3 square plus 2 into 3 square cos 120 degrees value minus 1 by 2. Cos 120 degrees value minus 1 by 2. Here 2 get cancelled, plus into minus becomes minus. So f resultant 1, f r1 is equal to under root of 3 square plus 3 square minus 3 square will come. Plus 3 square minus 3 square get cancelled, we will get 3 square only. Square root get cancelled, we will get 3 Newton. The resultant of these two forces is equal to 3 Newton. What is the direction of that resultant? To find the resultant direction, the angle made by the resultant with p bar, we know formula tan alpha is equal to q sin theta by p plus q cos theta is there. By using this formula, we should find the resultant direction. Here you assume this is P and this one is taken as a Q bar. The resultant making this resultant 3 Newton, making an angle alpha with 3 Newton you assume. Now we should find that. From this formula, tan alpha equal to Q is equal to 3, theta is equal to 120 sin 120 degree divided by P plus Q cos theta. P is equal to 3 plus Q is equal to 3 cos 120. That is equal to 3 into sin 120 degrees value. Sin 120 degrees value root 3 by 2 divided by 3 plus 3 into cos 120 degrees value minus 1 by 2. Next, that is equal to 3 into root 3 by 2 whole divided by 3 plus into minus 3 by 2 we will get. From this, here, that is equal to f r1 is equal to 3 into root 3 by 2 divided by, here 3 minus 3 by 2. If you simplify, you will get 3 by 2 you will get. Now here 3 by 2 and here 3 by 2 is there. 3 by 2 you will get cancel. Here sorry tan alpha. From this tan alpha is equal to, we will get root 3, that means alpha is equal to 60 degree. Alpha 60 degree means the resultant of these two forces also making an angle 60 degrees with this one. So that means the resultant force is also acting in this direction 3 Newton. So these two forces are acting in same direction. So final resultant Fr is equal to, those two forces are acting in same direction. That's why 3 plus 3, that is equal to 6 Newton. This is the resultant force acting on the sphere because of all these forces. Now we should find acceleration. Acceleration A is equal to resultant force or net force by total mass. Resultant force is equal to 6 Newton by mass of the body is equal to 6 kg. We will get acceleration A is equal to 1 meter per second square. Clear? 20th problem. A small sphere of mass m equal to 2 kg moving with a velocity u bar is equal to 4i cap minus 7j cap meter per second collides with a smooth wall and returns with a velocity v bar is equal to minus I cap plus 3j cap meter per second. The magnitude of impulse received by the ball is. In this problem, we have to calculate magnitude of impulse. According to problem, mass of the small sphere is 2 kg and its initial velocity 4i cap minus 7j cap meter per second. Final velocity minus I cap plus 3j cap. We know impulse formula. Impulse I bar is equal to m into final velocity minus initial velocity v bar minus u bar. Mass of the body 2 kg, 2 into v bar is equal to minus I cap plus 3j cap. Formula minus u bar is equal to 4i cap minus 7j cap. That is equal to 2 into minus I cap plus 3j cap minus 4i cap minus into minus plus 7j cap. That is equal to 2 into minus I cap minus 4i cap minus 5i cap plus 3j cap plus 7j cap 10j cap. This is vector form of the impulse. Now we calculate magnitude of impulse. Magnitude of impulse is equal to 2 into magnitude of minus 5i cap plus 10j cap. That is equal to 2 into its magnitude under root of minus 5 whole square plus 10 whole square. That is equal to 2 into under root of 5 square 25 plus 10 square 100. 2 into, here if you take 25 common, then you get 1 plus 4. Clear? 100 we can write 25 into 4. You take 25 common, 1 plus 4 will come. 25 right outside the root, then you get 5. 2 into 5 into root 5 we will get. 2 5s are 10. 10 root 5 Newton second. This is the magnitude of impulse. 21 problem. A ball of mass small m is thrown at an angle theta with the horizontal with an initial velocity u. The change in its momentum during its flight in a time interval of t is, according to given problem, a body of mass m thrown with an initial velocity u making an angle theta with horizontal. This body simultaneously traveling along horizontal direction and vertical direction, because here body thrown making an angle theta with horizontal. If you resolve this velocity into two component, one component along horizontal direction, its component along horizontal direction is u cos theta, and component of velocity along vertical direction is u sin theta. That's why body simultaneously traveling in two directions, and its path comes like this, like a parabolic path. Here what we have to calculate, change in momentum. We know formula, average force is equal to formula rate of change in momentum. F average is equal to change in momentum by time taken. From this, change in momentum is equal to F average into time taken. In a time interval t, what is the average force? Here, on this body, only gravitational force acting in downward direction. At any point from this point, gravitational force from starting point to ending point, at any point, only gravitational force acting on the body. At every point, gravitational force acting vertically downward direction. So, average force acting on the body is mg in a time interval t. This is the change in momentum delta p. 22nd problem. A body of mass 2 kg has an initial speed 5 meter per second. A force acts on it for 4 seconds in the direction of motion. The force time graph as shown in figure, the final speed of the body is. According to problem, mass of the body is 2 kg. Initial speed of the body 5 meter per second. We have to calculate final speed. Here, the given graph between force and time. The force acting up to 8 seconds. But according to problem, we have to take only 4 seconds. In this graph, area under the graph gives a change in momentum. Area under the graph equal to change in momentum. Change in momentum formula m into v minus u. Final velocity minus initial velocity. Because here final velocity and initial velocity both are in the same direction, that's why I am taking magnitudes. Area. How to calculate area? In this problem, up to 4 seconds, if you observe this graph, first 2 seconds, it is in the form of a triangle. Next 2 seconds, it is in the form of a rectangle. So area of the triangle plus area of the rectangle gives the total area under the graph. Area of the triangle formula we know, half into base into height plus area of the rectangle length into breadth is the formula. So in that half into, in triangle base, here reading is 0, 2 minus 0, 2, that is the base. Height is equal to, from here to here this height is equal to 4 Newton plus, in this rectangle, length is equal to 4 minus 2 is the length, and breadth is equal to 0, 4 minus 0 is equal to mass 2, v we don't know, u is equal to 5. 2 to get cancelled, 4 plus 4 minus 2, 2, 4 minus 0, 2, 4 2 are 8 is equal to 2 into v minus 5. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 is equal to 2 into v minus 5. 12 2s are, sorry, 2 6 are, 2 6 are 12, 6 times 6 is equal to v minus 5. Finally, velocity v is equal to 6 plus 5, v is equal to 11 meter per second is the answer. 23rd problem. A force time graph for the motion of a body is as shown in figure. Change in lunar momentum between 0 and 6 seconds is. Here, graph is given. On x-axis, time is taking. On y-axis, force. Force value given in newtons, time value taken in seconds. In this problem, we have to calculate change in linear momentum. To calculate change in momentum, area under this graph gives the change in momentum. Area under the graph equal to change in linear momentum. In this graph, area is equal to, area that means change in momentum is equal to this part area plus this part area. If you observe this part in the shape of a square, area of the square formula we know, length into breadth. Here force is a vector quantity, that's why we taken force value with the sign. Here force value 2 and time value 2. So minus 2 into minus 2, its length is 2 Newton, breadth is equal to 2 second, 2 into 2. Next, area of this portion plus, here this is in the shape of a rectangle. Area of the rectangle is equal to length into breadth. So in this case, length is equal to 6 minus 2 gives the length and its breadth is equal to this one. This one means 1 minus 0 gives the breadth. That is equal to minus 4, 6 minus 2, 6 minus 2, 4 into 1. That is equal to minus 4 plus 4 equal to 0. Area under the graph is equal to 0. So change in momentum also equal to 0 in this case. 24th problem. An impulse I given to a body changes its velocity from v1 to v2. The increase in the kinetic energy of the body is given by. In this problem, I impulse given, velocity of the body changes from v1 to v2. Initially, we assume mass of the body is m. Assume mass of the body equal to m kg. Find initial kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy represented by Ke1. So Ke1 is equal to initial velocity, kinetic energy formula already we know, of mv square, of m into initial velocity is v1. So we are writing of m v1 square. Final kinetic energy of the body. Ke2 is equal to of m into v2 square. In this problem, we have to calculate increase in the kinetic energy. Increase in kinetic energy means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy gives increase in kinetic energy. Increase in kinetic energy equal to final kinetic energy Ke2 minus initial kinetic energy Ke1. Here final kinetic energy of m into v2 square minus initial kinetic energy of m into v1 square. In this you take of m common, then you get v2 square minus v1 square. Here it is in the form of a square minus b square. A square minus b square equal to formula a minus b into a plus b. A minus b, v2 minus v1 into a plus b, v1 plus v2 plus v1 we can write. If you observe here, m into v2 minus v1, m into v2 minus v1, we can write change in momentum. M into v2 minus v1. Instead of this one, we can write change in momentum. Change in momentum is equal to impulse mv2 minus mv1 into v2 plus v1. In this mv2 minus mv1, final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum minus initial momentum is equal to change in momentum. Change in momentum is called impulse. So instead of this one, we can write I of I into v1 plus v2 or v2 plus v1. This is the increase in kinetic energy. Increase in kinetic energy, or same call it as a change in kinetic energy. If you got positive answer, that is increasing kinetic energy. If you get negative answer, we'll get decreasing kinetic energy. So increasing kinetic energy is equal to half I into v2 plus v1. 25th problem. A particle of mass small m, initially at rest, is acted upon by a variable force F for a brief interval of time capital T. It begins to move with velocity u after the force stops acting. F is shown in the graph as a function of time. The curve is semicircular. According to given problem, initial momentum of the body is equal to 0. Initial momentum Pi is equal to 0 because initially body is at rest. Initially at rest. What about final momentum? Final momentum of the body is m into u because body moves with a velocity u after force stops. In this graph they given force time graph. Area under force time graph gives a change in momentum. So area under graph is equal to P final minus P initial. Area. Here, this graph in the shape of a semicircle. Area of the semicircle is equal to half pi into r square is the area of the semicircle. But what about radius in this graph? Here, we take radius like this, half into pi. Radius, we can write r dot r into r or otherwise. In this, one radius is f naught and another radius is half of the time. Midpoint is half of time. So this area we can write f naught into t by 2 is equal to mu minus 0. Multiply, then you get pi into f naught t by 4 is equal to mu. We want to calculate initial velocity. So initial velocity u is equal to 5 f naught t by 4m. Clear? 26th problem. A ball of mass 0.2 kg strikes an obstacle and moves at 60 degrees to its original direction. If its speed also changes from 20 meter per second to 10 meter per second, the magnitude of the impulse received by the ball is. According to the problem, mass of the ball is 0.2 kg. Its initial speed is 20 meter per second. After hitting obstacle, its speed changes to 10 meter per second and the direction also changes. Direction is making an angle 60 degrees with its initial direction. In this we calculate magnitude of impulse. Now we know impulse formula. Impulse is equal to change in momentum. I bar is equal to m into v bar minus u bar. This is the formula. We want to calculate magnitude of impulse. Magnitude of impulse, magnitude of I bar is equal to m is scalar quantity, m into magnitude of v bar minus u bar. Magnitude of V bar minus U bar, we know formula. According to parallelogram law of vector addition, in that already we proved this formula, same model, under root of V square plus U square minus 2uv into cos theta, where theta is angle between initial velocity and final velocity. Mass 0.2 into under root of v square 10 square, u is equal to 20 square minus 2 into 20 into 10 into cos 60 degree. Cos 60 degrees value 1 by 2, that is equal to 0.2 into under root of 100 plus 400 minus 20 into 10, 200 into 2, 400 into cos 60 degrees value 1 by 2. From this, magnitude of impulse I is equal to 0.2 into under root of 100 plus 400, 500 minus 400 by 2, this is equal to 200. So we get 500 minus 200, that is equal to 0.2 into under root of 300, that is equal to 0.2 into 300, we can write 100 into 3. It is in the form of root a into b. Root a into b is equal to root a into root b, that is equal to 0.2 into 10 root 3, 0.2 into 10, that is equal to 2 root 3 Newton. Second is the magnitude of impulse.